Hi, this is Ellie from Middle School Math Moments, and I have a great activity for you today. It's great to use when there's a little downtime and you need something quick. You can use it in any subject area. It's called Word Challenge or Word Wheel. The rules are easy enough, especially once the kids see an example, that the game can be played by upper elementary students and middle school students, but it's also challenging enough that high school students would enjoy it too. About 20 years ago, I went to a fantastic Make It and Take It workshop where we had time to check out a bunch of different activities and then sit and actually make them. This activity was one of the ones I made that day. I don't remember who ran the workshop or whose idea this was, but I didn't come up with it myself, so I can't take credit for it. But I'm so glad I got to make it because every class I've ever used it with has really enjoyed it. At the workshop, they had cardboard circles ready for us to use, but today I just used the top of a pizza box. First, you trace and cut out a circle, then divide the circles into 32 sections and trace a second smaller circle inside to create the defined space to write the letters of the alphabet. You'll need to write one letter of the alphabet in each space. Since there are 32 spaces, some of the letters are going to be used twice. I used a few of the vowels again, and I used T twice. Now the wheel is ready to be colored, if you feel like coloring it. The last thing you need to do is put a small hole in the center, and then put yarn, a string, or a shoelace through the hole. Then attach the string to the underside of the wheel so it doesn't come through. I like to tie the string to a paper clip and then tape the paper clip to the wheel. It makes it a little harder for the string to work its way out. On my original wheel, I wrote the rules on the back. Since I used a pizza box this time, I'll have to type them up and tape them on. Now the wheel is ready to spin and it's time to play. I'll go through an example of how this game is played so you can play along if you want. In your classroom, you can split the class into any number of teams. Team 1 spins the wheel first. Normally, I hold the string and spin the wheel. The student representing the team grabs the wheel so that their thumb lands on a letter. So in our pretend game here, Team 1 spun an A. So in the classroom, I'd write A on the board, and the team has 10 seconds to collaborate and come up with any word that has A in it, like cat. Normally, we don't allow proper nouns. That was a pretty easy first turn. The team can stop there and get 1 point for that word, or they can spin again and try to earn a second point. We'll pretend they spin again. This time, they get a G. They have 20 seconds to think of a word that has both A and G, so 10 seconds per letter. How about angry? The team again needs to decide whether to stop at 2 points or try for a third. The goal of the game is to be the first team to reach 6 points. Doesn't sound too hard, does it? The kids think it sounds pretty easy the first time they play. The catch is, if they try for 3 points but can't think of a word, then they lose the points they had. Let's go for 3 points and see what happens. The third letter I spun was H, so now we get 30 seconds to think of a word with all 3 letters. This wasn't too terrible. I started thinking of more complicated words, but we can just go with hag. Now the team would need to decide whether to keep the 3 points or try for 4. We'll go for 4. Now we add an N and we get 40 seconds. This one isn't too bad either. Hang is right there with our letters. Let's try for 5 points. Spin 5 gave me a C, and now we have 50 seconds. I'll give you a few seconds to think about that, but maybe not the whole 50. That would take too long. How about the word change? Did you think of a different word? I know I didn't give you the whole 50 seconds, so you might have thought of something else. Let's try to get to 6 points. Believe it or not, spin 6 for me was an X, and this is where it usually falls apart. Somewhere around letter 5 or 6, the students get a letter that just throws everything off. Every once in a while, a team will get 6 letters that they can fit together, but most of the time, at least in middle school, they don't get to 6, they lose their points, and they're back to 0. After seeing that happen a few times, the kids will get to 3 or 4 points and then get to the total of 6 on their next turn, but they have to strategize according to the other team's points. If each team only had one turn, Then they would have to try to get to 4 or 5 and hope that no one beats them. This can be really fun as a whole class activity too. Just trying to get to 6 points as a class using everyone's brain can be challenging, and it's a lot of fun. Did you come up with a word for those letters? If so, please let me know. I hope you take the time to make a word wheel of your own and really enjoy playing word wheel with your class. Thanks for listening. This is Ellie again from Middle School Math Moments. Have a great day.